Good morning, class. Happy Monday. It is Monday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. Today, we are going to be doing your weekly update Wednesday. I know this is a little bit weird, but this is a new format that we are testing to try and get these weekly updates to you guys without having to schedule a Teams meeting. So we're going to give it a try, see how it goes. And we got some important announcements this week. This is going to be a pretty short one, but these announcements are so important. We need to have an entire weekly update to entice it all. So, first things first, this is your official welcome to module number 202. Last week, we still had a few people getting remediated and finishing up their test. Everyone is now in 202, so welcome to 202. This is paramedic school right here. First 201 was difficult at some points, but for the most part, it was relatively non-dramatic. 202, we're going to step that up. We're going to step it up in the things that we learn, as well as in some of our rules and how things work with the due dates. We'll get to that in a little bit. But right now, let's talk about 202. So we're discussing a lot of major important things in paramedicine in this section. We're starting out with trauma. You guys have already got started on trauma. And we're going to go from trauma to cardiology, a little bit of respiratory, and a little bit of medical. All in all together, we're going to be in this until about March. So everybody dig your heels in and get ready. For those of you that were on the cusp with your last exam, some of those lower grades, this is the time you have to step up. This is when it's going to get hard. If you thought last semester was hard, or I guess last section was hard, then this section is really going to step it up, especially when we get to the cardiology and to the medical and some more respiratory stuff. So just bear with me on that. It's going to be a tough one, but we're going to get through it. So moving on from that, looked at 202. So I've got some important announcements for you guys. Now, I wasn't exactly thrilled with some of the attendance of last section's weekly update Wednesdays and test reviews. You guys did fine as far as your lecture attendance, but we put a lot of work into, one, these weekly update Wednesdays, and two, the test reviews that we do. If you attend those test reviews, your chances of passing are much better, and they're also, I'm giving you guys the material to study during those, so there's no reason why you shouldn't attend those. So I'm going to offer some incentive this semester, or section, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to have two different things that we're going to do. So the first one is, if you attend every single weekly update Wednesday lecture. So I'm not talking about going back and watching it the day after, the day of, whatever. If you attend it live, in person, I see your name on the Teams meeting. If you attend all these, your lowest homework grade will be dropped, and I'll give you full credit on an assignment. Which means if you've got an assignment of homework that you didn't feel so great on, maybe you made a 15 when you should have made a 20, or you made a 12, any of that, we're going to drop that. If you attend all of these weekly update Wednesdays, I see your name on the roster every single week. You show up, you participate, you learn. I'm going to go in, I'm going to change that homework grade. I'm going to give you full credit. I'm going to give you a 20. That's a significant portion of your grade right there. You guys know that homework percentage is 35% of your grade. So if you can show up for an hour a week and you can get one of those low homework grades dropped, this could affect your final grade. So try and make an attempt to be at those weekly update Wednesdays. I do those so that you guys have an opportunity to see me, to meet with me, to ask questions, to look at quiz questions that we might have messed up on, or some of those. And then also we do a good lecture and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of good discussion. So when does that start? That starts this week right now with this video that you're watching. So I'm going to give you details on how to get your credit for this week's Weekly Update Wednesday. This is episode number 7. So to get credit for episode number 7, I'm going to detail that at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. So moving on, I'm going to sweeten it up a little bit more. Test review attendance for the final exam was poor. It was very poor. I think I had like 5 or 6 people show up. That's not good enough. If everybody was out there passing your test, I would be like, okay, whatever. But not everybody passed their test. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to incentivize that a little more as well. If you attend the live test review, which is the test review, the weekly update Wednesday that I give before the midterm and before the final, if you attend those live and in person for the entirety of that lecture, takes about an hour, you will receive 2 extra points on your exam grade. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 extra points on your exam grade. That could make the difference between failure and passing. 2 extra points on your final exam grade. This is for the midterm and for the final. So you have 2 opportunities to get 4 extra points total, 2 on each of those exams. 2 on the midterm, 2 on the final. So show up to those. I send out announcements about them. I schedule them on your teams. Be there live. I'm going to record everybody's name who is there that stays for the entirety. If you do that, you will receive full credit for those, and you will get 2 extra points on your exam. And that's both exams, midterm and final, depending on which one you show up to. So you want to show up to the weekly update Wednesdays, get that lowest homework grade dropped. And if I didn't clarify before, that's 2 homework assignments per section, per semester. I'm going to be doing these based off of our midterms and our finals. So if you attend all of them up to your midterm, that's 1 homework grade dropped. If you attend all of them up to your final, that's another homework grade drop. That's 2 homework assignments that you could get 100 on. Don't want to miss those. Attend those live test reviews, stay for the entirety, get 2 extra points on your exam. That can mean the difference between a B and an A. That can mean a difference between failing and passing. If you're making 69, 68, you attended the test review though, I'm going to give you 2 extra points. You're going to pass. You're not going to have to remediate. You're not going to have to take a test. Or not going to have to take a retest. So that's some really exciting stuff. I'm trying to help you guys out. I'm trying to help you by doing these test reviews. I'm trying to help you by doing these weekly update Wednesdays. But it doesn't help if you guys don't participate, don't attend. So we're going to sweeten the deal on our end. We're going to make it a little bit better for you guys. Try and encourage you to participate. So, okay. So one last announcement. This is the not so fun one, but this is us cracking down as instructors, as an organization. So I just finished all your due dates for 202. I put them all in manually. You now have a hard cap on all of your assignments of 72 hours for late turn-in. Let me clarify that. So all of your assignments, discussions, homework, quizzes, this includes the drug of the week and the assessment of the week quizzes, now have a hard 72-hour cap on late turn-in. Meaning after 72 hours, if your assignment is not in, it is a 0. Big goose egg. So your discussions are due on Friday. If you don't have your discussion in on the following Monday by midnight, it's a 0. Your homework assignments and your quizzes are due on Sundays. If you don't have that assignment in and you turn it in after it, if you wait until after Wednesday at midnight, you will not be able to turn it in, and it will be a 0. This is a hard cap, no exceptions, unless you contact myself or Aaron before your assignment is due. Explain to us your situation, and we will consider possibly making an exception. Do not contact me on Monday or Tuesday when your homework was due yesterday and tell me it's going to be late. I do not consider those exceptions. That is not an excuse. Contact me before your assignment is due, and then I will be able to help you. So, I'm going to clarify that one more time. All of your assignments now have a 72-hour cap on when they can be turned in after they're due. So, if you are running late, you need to turn them in within that 3-day window. Otherwise, you're going to get a 0. Within that 3-day window, you're going to get 50 points counted off. You're going to get half credit, excuse me. But it's better than a 0. If you turn it in after that, it's a 0. So, if you have not turned in your homework for last week, if you have not turned in your discussion for last week, it is due tonight at midnight, or it's a 0. If you have not turned in your homework for this week, if you don't do that by Wednesday night at midnight, it is a 0. So we're cracking down on those turn-ins. This is a school policy. This is not just my rule. This is just a rule that I enforce heavily because I believe that you guys should be able to turn in these assignments on time. If you have a problem, if you have an emergency or something crazy happens, contact myself and Aaron before your assignment is due, and we will make an exception depending on what it is. So, with that out of the way, if you're having any clinical issues, last announcement. If you're having any clinical issues, you need to contact me now, ASAP, so that I can get you assistance in getting that clinical issue remedied. This is the time where you need to be starting your clinicals and you need to be doing them. If you have not started your clinicals yet, consider yourself behind. You need to get them started. This is not something we want to deal with in 3 or 4, 5, 6 months when we're getting closer to you guys' time to graduate. This is something we deal with now. So if you're having clinical issues, getting shift scheduled, getting cleared for clinicals, anything like that, contact me immediately. We'll get those remedied and we will get you started. So, no quiz questions this week because everybody did really well on the quiz. So, great job. So, now you're probably wondering, how do you get credit for your attendance at this Weekly Update Wednesday since it's a recorded YouTube video? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question in this video, and you guys are going to answer that question for me in the reply on your discussion. So when you look at, not your discussion, your announcement, this announcement, you will see on your announcement that you can hit the reply button and you can type a reply. If you want credit for this Weekly Update Wednesday to go towards dropping that lowest homework grade, then you need to answer this question in the announcement that you found the link to this video in. So I'm going to post this video in a link to the Monday morning announcement. Go to that discussion and comment and answer this question. Tell me in that reply what was your favorite part of 201. What is the most favorite thing that you learned in 201? So, to get credit for this Weekly Update Wednesday attendance, go back to the announcement where you found the link to this video hit reply on that announcement, type your favorite thing about 201, and I will give you credit for this week's Weekly Update Wednesday. You guys have until the end of the week to do this, so don't wait on it. That's all I have for you today. No lecture for this week, just a bunch of announcements. We're going to get started back in our lectures next week. Work on your assignments. If you have any questions about anything that I discussed here, please don't hesitate to contact me. Don't hesitate to contact Aaron. And we will see you guys soon. Everybody have a great and safe Halloween.